Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto 2 Blue Vortex discussion. Today, I want to talk to you guys about why this reveal of Himawari finally tapping into the Nine Tails power. It is a bigger deal than you might think because it is directly paying off a major reveal and the plot point from Boruto Naruto Next Generations, which is Daemon's strange fascination with Himawari's hidden power. That power that gave Daemon a tingly feeling in his loins. We all remember how Boruto and Team 7, they were guarding Ada and Daemon and taking Ada on that shopping trip that everyone freaked out over because we got 2 pages, very similar to how Tsunade got 2 pages, throwing up drinking when she was going out with Jiraiya, when Boruto had the nerve to fix his mouth and tell Daemon, hey man, you're not gonna be talking so tough if you meet my daddy or if you meet Sasuke, to which Daemon brushed it aside until he suddenly went crazy. He sensed a massive chakra outside the store and he rushed outside. That's where he laid his eyes on Himawari and he ran forward to hit her with a Falcon punch before she suddenly panicked and cowered in fear, and Daemon pulled back his punch and realized that she had enormous hidden power inside of her that would have allowed her to dodge that attack easily enough, to which Boruto told Daemon, hey man, you're crazy. My sister, hey, she's not a shinobi, she's not a fighter. But Daemon just doubled down on his insistence that Boruto was wrong and proceeded to tell Boruto, if you keep arguing with me, I'm gonna smack that Thunder Burger out of your hands. Well, now that Himawari has her hidden power finally revealed, awakened, I want to talk to you guys about what this means moving forward, and in particular for Daemon, and why we might need to start the conversation of Daemon being ready to run out onto the battlefield with the intention to see Himawari's hidden power in action for himself, and what ramifications that might have for the story moving forward. I definitely think that we're going to be getting a moment where Daemon is made aware of what it is that's going on, and I'll even go a step further to say he's already aware of it, because Daemon was shown unexpectedly having this ability to sense chakra, sense how strong it is. When he sensed Boruto's Rasengan Uzuhiko and how it was shaking the planet on a subtle way, he wasn't that impressed at all, but he was also shown being unimpressed when he sensed Ko's power without limiters. But his fascination with Himawari's power, that is something that has always intrigued me. All throughout Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, Daemon, he has always looked bored. He looks like how I look anytime Cody Rhodes is on TV for SmackDown. Outside of the moment he was poking fun at Kawaki, saying that he was going to enjoy this Kawaki downfall arc when Shinju arrived in Konoha, and outside the moment that he was taking a mental note on how aggressive Kawaki was talking to Daemon's sister Ada, Daemon hasn't shown much interest in anything. If Boruto's Rasengan Uzuhiko was only enough to make this guy crack a smile but never move, what do you think he's going to do when he suddenly feels Himawari's chakra and is flaring up and potentially growing stronger as the fight is going down? I don't put it past this little ass to take off and start running towards the battlefield. There was a reason Daemon was somebody Ada did not want unsealed. A reason that we have not been directly told yet, but based on all the implications we have, I do think it does look like the reason she didn't want him originally unsealed is because of what Bug alluded to, which is that Daemon cannot be controlled. What Daemon wants, Daemon gets. This goes back to part of their dynamic being very similar to the Japanese Shinto gods Amaterasu and Susanoo, which longtime viewers have heard me break that down in videos before, as well as is playing a loose homage to the cyborg siblings from Dragon Ball number 17 and 18, who were born into humans named Lapis and Lazuli, had their bodies modified by Dr. Gero the same way that Daemon and Ada had their bodies modified. Daemon tells us that in his life he's never met someone strong enough to make him use full power in a fight, and there have only ever been 2 people who made him look excited at the prospect of fighting, which were Boruto, who he told, hey man, get strong enough so you can reach your full potential so I can fight at full power, fam, and Himawari, who Daemon had previously tried to hit with the Falcon punch, but he'll stop from doing so, which shame on that. Equal rights get equal lefts. He should have hit her with that Falcon punch. Can any of us imagine a scenario where he senses Himawari's chakra flaring up, and after Ada confirms this, Himawari fighting, that this dude just suddenly set down his blanket and his building blocks and his juice cup and his animal crackers, puts on his Velcro shoes and starts running towards the battlefield. I would venture to say I'm not the only one who might think that this is a possible scenario, because it feels like a very in-character thing for him to do. The thrill of a big battle, it is calling for Daemon. The opportunity to see the hidden power inside of Himawari that he initially wanted to see, it's finally there. On one hand, Kawaki and Delta, they are flying to get to Himawari, but at the same time, what does Kawaki even have shown us that we have even thought, hey, this guy's gonna be able to put up a good fight? He's been put to sleep more times than Diddy was putting mollies in unsuspecting women's drinks and rapping about it in his verses, which allegedly that's what he did since it wasn't proven, and we don't know if someone said no Diddy beforehand. Kawaki is likely getting knocked unconscious again unless the power increase when he uses full Karma Seal power and he gets the horn sprouted. It's just that crazy he's able to stand toe-to-toe with Jura. But given how easily Jura knocked out version 1 Kawaki, I'm not too sure that this is the case. But I do hope to be pleasantly surprised. But I get the feeling that when Jura knocks the piss out of Kawaki, Not Like Us is playing in the background. However, Daemon going there to pretty much protect his investment in Himawari, that makes total sense. And Daemon going there gives us a major straight line opportunity for linear scaling reasons. We know that the awakened Shinju are heavily implied via multiple statements and brief skirmishes to be over the power level code without limiters, but if we see Daemon battle Jura, that's where this gets super interesting, because we saw Daemon, he had no issues taking out Code when they fought. When Code tried to say that he was him with all caps, Daemon said, take off those caps locks, change your gender to something more gender fluid, like the little punk B word that you are, which I can't say the full word that rhymes with itch, because YouTube will age restrict this video since I've already used one of my allotted inappropriate swear words. Last time I used 2 in the same video, it got age restricted to 18 plus. If Daemon is throwing hands with Jura and putting up a serious effort, that gives us a dramatic upscaling for Jura and the awakened Shinju, because we haven't seen Daemon use full power yet, and it sets in stone how powerful the various characters will be, especially if we get confirmation of something that we believe here on the channel, which is when Kurama transmigrated to Himawari, that burial mode chakra was added to Kurama's chakra at base, the same way that Obito retained a small part of the chakra of the sixth pass that he was able to briefly loan to Kakashi, only this wouldn't be a brief retention. It gives a lot of much needed clarity if this ends up happening, but you know what it also does? It raises the stakes. Who would Daemon have to leave behind in order to go running after Himawari? His sister, Ada. The person who Daemon was supposed to serve as a knight in order to protect her, someone who dislikes fighting and despite her power only possessing average taijutsu skill, which means nothing if you don't have the skill to use it. Classic example being how full Byakugo Steel Sakura has more raw power via her chakra than Sage Mode Kabuto, but she ain't winning that fight against Sage Mode Kabuto or Hashirama because she doesn't have the taijutsu skill to land a hit on them at full power to make their heads explode. We know that Bug had already made Ada his target, that when he went to go after her, but he was never going to do that if it meant fighting Daemon head up. You cannot tell me that this Bug doesn't have the memories of Daemon bullying his past version. Under this scenario, Daemon would be gone, assuming of course that he went after Himawari because of the excitement of sensing her power and the chance to see it in battle for himself, because he was strongly implied to have listed her as one of the few people with the potential to allow him to fight at full power. That leaves Ada with only Mitsuki there to protect her. And let's be real for a moment. Mitsuki, he definitely leveled up. He is a lot stronger than he was before, but he's fresh from expending a decent amount of his chakra fighting against Boruto and getting flexed on the entire time, which, Jesus. Do any of us foresee a scenario where a recovering Mitsuki is able to do better in battle against the same Bug that forced Boruto onto a brief defensive when they fought? Granted, Bug did have a win condition of all he needed to do was bite Boruto, so Boruto couldn't take him lightly, had to exert a little bit more force, but he was still fast enough to close the gap of base Boruto and send him flying into the wall, and have Boruto asking Code to assist him in fighting back, which again, by that point, the number, it had become 2 versus 1 since Hidari was freshly revealed, and Jura was about to show himself, making it a 3 versus 1, and then Matsuri was about to launch her sneak attack, so it was 4 versus 1. This would be the big shakeup that would cause a lot of conflict if you do it, and it runs the risk of Ada being devoured by Bug. And that also means that if she is made into an awakened Shinju, what would that do for Daemon's character? It highlights that a selfish decision would cost him his sister. You have a chance to layer a bunch of twists to subvert the expectations of readers and make things messy by yucking it up, which from a writing perspective, when I say yucking up a story, that is a good thing because it means you're stacking conflict on top of conflict, which makes your readers more invested, and it makes the story more unpredictable. It's for that reason I do like the idea of Daemon being sent to the battlefield out of a curiosity and excitement at Himawari's power. Though, to play devil's advocate, you can accomplish the same thing by simply having her somehow push Jura into retreating and Daemon coming into contact with Himawari afterwards. Both scenarios allow you to accomplish the same goal. It's just one comes off with more conflict and raising of the stakes than the other, which is why I'm personally a bigger fan of it, because I am a firm believer that when a story is hitting its stride and moving along at a fast pace, you just keep your foot pressed onto the gas and you tell your readers to sit back and enjoy the ride that you as the writer, the final boss, are about to take them on. I don't think either way is wrong. I just think, again, being transparent, this route is better in terms of the decision to make. Similar how I think it's a better decision for you to click on this KRYPTONIAN SAIYAN video on the left or click this Naruto Explained video that YouTube says you should watch.